This week we finished putting together our large paint horse, plus I have some exciting news to share with you all. Let's get started. Well, hello and welcome to the shop. My name is Brett, and if this is your first time visiting this channel, well, welcome. This is where I come to create large Victorian rocking horses and a few other things along the way. Well, I did tell you in the opening I've got some exciting news, and I can't wait to share that with you all. We'll do that here in just a few minutes. The first thing, though, I want to do this morning, I want to pull our large paint horse over, and I want to go ahead and start getting the saddle put on it, and we'll get the mane and everything set so we can get that all finished up and get that crated and get it sent home. Then we're going to jump into the paint booth. The other paint horse that I was working on, that I worked out the colors last week, well, let's go ahead and let's pull the tape and let's take a look at it. And then I know there's going to be a little bit of touch up to do there, so we can get that all touched up and get ready to clear coat that as well. So that's what I want to work on today, and then I'm going to tell you some of the exciting news, and I'm going to ask for a little bit of help from you all as well. But first, let's go ahead, let's get this horse pulled over, let's get that finished up. So we're in the paint booth now. I have my other rocking horse. This is the paint one, and I'm ready to go ahead and start pulling the tape. This has actually been a few days since I put the other large paint horse together. So the reason it's been a couple of days, I don't know what I did, but I twisted my ankle and I've been hobbling around here for a few days. I've been icing it and kind of taking it easy. So I know it only seemed like a couple of minutes for you all, but it's actually been a few days for me. But I'm feeling pretty decent here today, so I figured let's get in here. I've been really anxious to get all of this tape pulled and take a look at this horse. So let's go ahead and let's get the tape pulled and see how much cleanup we have to do and take a good look at this horse. There we go. Man, I really like the lights and the darks. You know, these areas here and up under there, man, it really looks nice. Again, I don't know if the camera can pick a lot of that up, but boy, it really looks nice. And we still have the clear coat, of course, to go yet, and that's really gonna pull a lot of those colors out of there. Of course, we have some bleeding. That's to be expected. So we'll correct that and get that all touched up. It's not that big a deal to go in and, you know, fix a lot of that. But yeah, wow. Really, really happy with it. That's going to look fantastic. Good, that's done. So now that all of the tape has been pulled, I can step back and take a good look at this, and I'll tell you, this is going to be one of the prettiest horses I think I've done to date. There is some touch-up, of course, I've got to do, which is to be expected. It's just the way the tape, even though this tape went down perfect and it went down really, really tight, I think I get the bleed because this is wood, and no matter how tight you can get that tape, there's always going to be a little bit of imperfections in the wood, and I think that's where I'm getting some of this bleeding. But it doesn't take real long to get this all corrected, and I think I'll do that tomorrow. I'll get in here to the shop and I'll start touching everything up, get the hooves all painted, and then get it back in the paint booth, and then I can start clear coating. 3 coats of clear, it ought to really pull some of these colors out. These light brown tones in here. There's even some red coming through. So this really, it ought to make that pop when we get the clear coat on it. And then of course, once we get the hair and the saddle put on, I think this is just going to be outstanding. This is really going to be one of the prettiest horses I think I've done, especially sitting on those cherry rockers. So that'll be coming up here on the next episode. So my exciting news though I wanted to share with you all is I was nominated last month for the Masters of Craft Award put on by the Keeneland horse racing track outside of Lexington, Kentucky. It's in Versailles to be exact. This track is world renowned. So this is a really huge deal to have been nominated for this. And not only have I been nominated, but I've made it all the way to the pretty much the finish line. They've pulled 12 of their favorites last month. The judges went through. There's 4 categories, so they pulled 3 of their favorites from each category. And yes, yours truly, I made it all the way to the very end. So I am one of the finalists in this prestigious award, and it's just such an honor to even be chosen as one of the 12. I'm just over the moon about that. But where I could really use your help is the judges will pick their favorite, and it's the overall from all 4 categories, and that's the grand prize winner. But then they also do the patron pick, and that's where they've opened it up now to the public. And I'd like you all, if you would please, to jump on and go to KeenelandMercantile.com, and I'll put a link again in the description, and vote for me there. It's real easy to do, and all they ask is you just put your email address in and your location, and then it'll pull up, you're the 12 finalists, and I hope, you'll pick me and vote for me on their website. That would really, help me out a little bit. And, this has just been a lot of fun the whole way through. So this has just been fun. Even if this is as far as I go, just to even have my name associated with the Keeneland track down there is just over the moon. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with the Keeneland, I did go back. I found a really good video, and it's only about 4 minutes long, and I thought maybe I'll tag it here and let you kind of watch and the history of Keeneland and what it's all about.
Lexington, Kentucky has long been known as the horse capital of the world, and Keeneland is nestled in this renowned bluegrass land. Many of the world's top thoroughbred farms reside in the area, where legend has it that the limestone-rich soil builds strong racehorses. And while horse racing in Lexington can be traced back to the 1800s, the idea of Keeneland was only conceived in the 1930s. The Kentucky Association track in downtown Lexington closed in 1933. Prompting a group of prominent central Kentucky breeders to band together to ensure racing continued in the heart of the bluegrass. The horsemen would write in their founding prospectus documents, "The sport of racing is the heritage of Kentuckians, especially of those Kentuckians who live in the midst of the region where the majority of the champions of the American turf have been bred." The idea was simple: to create a model racetrack. The track would serve as a symbol of the fine traditions of thoroughbred racing. It would operate with a not-for-profit mission and reinvest earnings into the racetrack and the horse industry. In 1935, the site for this model racetrack was selected. Keeneland founders, which included its first president, Hal Price Headley, completed the purchase of John Oliver Jack Keene's property on Versailles Pike. For decades since, fans have enjoyed an intimate and idyllic racing experience unlike any other. The Keeneland Spring Meet includes 2 of the premier prep races for the Kentucky Derby and Oaks, the Grade 1 Toyota Bluegrass and Central Bank Ashland. Kentucky Derby winners such as Street Sense, Unbridled, and Thunder Gulch have used the Bluegrass as a stepping stone to victory in the Derby. Over the years, champions such as American Pharaoh, Northern Dancer, Wise Dan, Nyquist, and Round Table have graced the track at Keeneland. In 2015, Keeneland and Central Kentucky earned rave reviews when hosting the Breeders' Cup World Championships for the first time. It was a homecoming for the two-day event. The idea, which was conceived in Lexington by famed horseman John Gaines. While Keeneland is perhaps best known for its world-class racing, there is much more to the story. In 1938, the track extended its mission to stand as a pillar among the thoroughbred industry by conducting its first thoroughbred auction. Today, as the world's premier thoroughbred sales company, more horses sell in its famous Keeneland Sales Pavilion than anywhere in the world. The experience can be compared to the NBA draft of horse racing, as buyers scout for future potential and vie for those horses which will fit their racing and breeding programs. With the hum of auctioneers and the yell of bid spotters, Keeneland auctions feature a tremendous hustle and bustle of international trade. Keeneland sells more than 6,000 horses each year, and the world record price of $13.1 million paid for a yearling in 1985 at Keeneland still stands to this day. Beneath its iconic weather vane, more than 20 Kentucky Derby winners, even recent Triple Crown winner Justify, have passed through the famed Keeneland sales ring. Keeneland's founders intended it to be a gathering place for all, and its 1,000 acres are open 365 days a year to visitors and the central Kentucky community. What Augusta is to golf, what Wimbledon is to tennis, Keeneland is to horse racing.
So there you go. There's a little bit of brief history on the Keeneland track and how that all came to be. And I'll tell you, I've been there numerous times, again, since my sister and brother-in-law now live in Kentucky, and they only live about 20 minutes, 25 minutes from the track. We go there every time we visit, and I've been there a lot, and it is just beautiful. And I recommend, if you're going to the Lexington area, if you're down in that area for sales, stop by Keeneland. It is beautiful there, and that's one of my favorite places to go when we go down and visit. But again, even just to have my work associated with that world-renowned company is just, amazing. And we all are just very, very excited. And judging goes on. You can judge or you can vote daily for me. And I think the judging goes on until March 20 or March. Well, it's somewhere around mid-March, and I think they announced the winner on March 20th. So again, it's KeenelandMercantile.com, and you can go on and look for the 2023 finalist, and you'll see yours truly there, and you can go and vote for me. And again, I'd really appreciate it. I think that's where I'm going to leave things for this week. It's a bummer about my ankle, but it's feeling better. It's a little tender yet today, but I'm getting around. So next episode, we're going to get in here. Of course, our big horse is going to be gone. I'll get that crated up, and it's going to be out of here. We'll go ahead and get this cleared, get the final assembly on that, and then I want to jump over. We're going to get our other two horses finished up. We'll start sanding on those and, try to get those in paint, or at least get them in the paint booth so we can start primering. Again, thanks a lot for hanging out with me here at the shop. And if you're getting something out of this video, I'd love to hear from you. Shoot me a comment down below or shoot me an email. Let me know what you're working on in your shop. I'd love to hear, and I'd love to, talk to you out there. So until next weekend, happy carving. Take care.